Stages like this are for people to share big ideas. Ideas that empower, enable, change the world even. The thing is, my whole little life has been pulled apart by two big ideas. I'm here for a greater purpose, and I shouldn't be here at all. I should disappear. So, naturally, I became an actor. As an actor, you get to be somebody and not be yourself. As myself, I've had some amazing experiences, but I've also had some really frightening ones, like a heart attack in my late teens. But when I'm a character on screen, all my own worries, am I healthy enough to have children of my own one day? Is it too late to make something of my life? Did I forget to empty the washing machine? They all disappear as I immerse myself in complex human situations that I've never actually experienced, like this.
That's it, you're doing brilliant.
Nearly there now. One more push.
Is he okay?
It's a boy.
Why isn't he crying? Can you see? Please, I need to know he's okay.
This character is Rachel from a TV show called Emmerdale, and that was her first and so far only child who did survive the birth. Because of things around Rachel's life, she wasn't allowed to tell anybody who the father was. The thing I loved about playing Rachel was you think it and she'll say it. She had a good heart. And 3 years later, she had fallen in love with her best friend and they were living together happily ever after. Except that's for the movies and this is soap acting. Our script writers evolve characters over years and sometimes even decades. Our plot lines are created to challenge everyone to look again at the characters we thought we knew. So, one day I am called into a meeting with the producers upstairs and I'm given the heads up that I have to find a way to make it believable for this good-hearted woman to start physically abusing the man she loves because that's where the script's going. And I'm like, what now? Why? No, Rachel, wouldn't you? Have you called in the right cast member? All of a sudden, a person with the job title Fight Director is working with me on how Rachel should hit her boyfriend, Sam Dingle. Now, I have hit people before as my character, but I didn't mind slapping Jay. I didn't mind punching Megan because they were all against Rachel and that was fine, but this was different. The first time my character had to hit the actor who plays Sam Dingle on set, I broke down in tears. I really struggled and I had to dig deeper to understand why Rachel would do this. How could this good-hearted woman physically hurt the one person who she loves more than anything else in the world? Heart attack aside, I don't think my experiences of life have been that unusual. I mean, my day-to-day interactions with people, from bullies at school to trolls online, we've all experienced something of this. And it's just how the world is, we say. So we go to our screens and we like and we share quotes like, "You only give people the power to hurt you if you let them." That first big idea, that I'm here for a greater purpose, to help people, it gave me a determination to give my all in academia, in the sports, the arts. That second big idea, the one that pulled my life apart, that that changed everything, because it pulled my life apart, because the idea was that people did have the power to hurt me, and I thought it was my fault because I'd let them. At school, I'd be awarded, and then I'd come home and cry. Day after day, words pushed me up and pulled me down. And I wished they would hit me, because, that would be a real pain that I could talk about. But it was all words. Their words covered me and were all that I could think about. And I tried to understand them until, over time, when I looked in the mirror, I began to see somebody to hate. Somebody who was just too much, disgusting. I'm a child on my own, and I don't know what to do with the idea that I shouldn't be here. I look in the mirror, and finally I find the words to wrap around it. Am I too fat? Eating disorders are deadly, and no one has to die from them, but people still do, and people are dying now because of choices about how physically thin a person needs to be before intervention can be prioritised. Rapid weight loss or weight gain that has no medical cause is an external expression of something that is already there. Something that began before the visible change in weight. Waiting for the weight to change isn't going to stop what is already there, but the longer we wait. When it comes to eating disorders, the longer we wait, the more of a hold it has on a person. And the more expensive it is going to be to bring that person back. And I mean expensive in all senses of the word expensive. That heart attack in my late teens was my body failing in the grips of an eating disorder. At 12 years old, a medical assessment pulled me from my home and into a psychiatric unit. I was so weak, they had to push me in a wheelchair, and I was told if I didn't eat or drink within 24 hours, I'd be dead. At 10 years old, when I first started to withdraw and started eating less, my parents took me to the doctor, who said, "Don't worry, she's not low enough in weight to have a problem. It's probably just a phase." In the grips of that monster for 13 years, the most confusing thing people said to me was, "How can you do this to your poor mum and dad? You're selfish, just eat." And I didn't. And I wasn't trying to hurt my mum and dad, and I know I did. I know they felt lost and confused, like I felt lost and confused, but this was something else. It was hate layered on shame, layered on guilt, until I became that disgusting person in the mirror I'd seen as a child. People often think and hear that eating disorder is a way of controlling something, and that's what I believed, but ultimately you lose control of everything. With years of courage and understanding from my amazing parents, and finally one therapist who got it and spoke to me about me as a person, I found a way to take responsibility of the pain I was causing those I loved more than anything in the world. My parents, because I love them so much. They set up a small group to give others support and empathy for eating disorders. SEED. That's what we called it. And I did what kids do and left home. Destination? Drama school. At drama school, I met a woman called Sonia Fraser, a legendary writer, actor, director, also my acting teacher, and a trained therapist. I was going to see Sonia for therapy. In fact, half of the school were going to see Sonia for therapy, a fact that we only discovered once we'd all graduated. In Sonia's acting lessons, she would encourage us to draw on our own life experiences. At the time, I was feeling fragile again, like the girl in the mirror. Stood in class reading a monologue, feeling stupid and ashamed. At the next therapy session, Sonia let me talk about some of the problems I was having with the other students. It's like their words were sticking like dirt and suffocating me. And she said, and I'll never forget this, she said, "Use the dirt, darling. Use the dirt. I want you to come to my lesson tomorrow and use all of that dirt." Words hurt. They stick and they hurt, but you can use them to grow. From a little seed, flowers can grow where dirt used to be. I'm on set with Sam Dingle. I know my lines, I know what I have to do, and I'm thinking about how I can use the dirt. How can I use all of the dirt that has ever hit me to help 7 million viewers understand what Rachel is about to do? In the storylines I played as Rachel, she had always been somehow silenced and looked down on. Charity was blackmailing her. Jay was saying, "No one can know that the baby's mine." The Dingles were never supporting her. All of these experiences layered up until she felt like she wasn't being heard and she wasn't being given the support and empathy that she needed. So she lashed out at the one person who was there for her and did understand her. Her hurt towards Sam came at a time when she was feeling like he wasn't listening and she was at her most fragile.
I might as well just take all this stuff straight to charity. The chances are actually having playing with them.
Rich, can't you just sit down and have your sarnie? Our Samson's always crabbier when he's hungry.
What? I'm about to lose my son and you want me to have dinner? I mean, do you understand how serious this is? They haven't let me see him properly for weeks. The poor lad's no doubt been brainwashed.
Well, so be honest, tell the courts the truth.
Oh, Sam, we all know you're naive, but have a day off, will you?
You don't need to get nasty.
Well, don't I? You let me get my hopes up. I mean, how thick do you have to be, eh?
Can you stop yelling at us? Do you know how hard it is to care about you when you're being like this?
I don't mean me like that.
Words that hurt us can push us to stay silent. But pain is always expressed. To get the help she needed, my character left Emmerdale in 2015 and she was written out of the script. Rachel's actions needed to stop, and I hope she got the help she needed. Sometimes, what is more powerful than a new idea is to let go of an old one. It's not your fault if you are hurt by words. Use the words to point out the dirt. Use the dirt. Because we are all here for a greater purpose, and we are all meant to be here. Thank you.